What's up guys, it's tech-raccoon back with another video, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Behringer XM8500 versus the Behringer B1. Now for me, these two microphones are the real two microphones that I'm always contemplating on which one should I be using, because the Behringer B1 is my best condenser microphone I have, while the Behringer XM8500 is the best dynamic microphone I have, and it sounds fantastic for a dynamic microphone, especially at that price. But as you're going to find out, I haven't actually decided on which one I prefer, but we'll get onto that later on in the video. Let's start off with the design of these two microphones. So both microphones are made out of a fully metal construction this time. They're fully made out of metal and they feel very, very solid. I gotta say, for 29 Australian dollars though, the Behringer XM8500 has a fantastic build quality which easily competes with the Behringer B1, which is quite impressive. Now as for looks, this is more of a personal preference thing, but I reckon obviously the Behringer B1 looks better because it's a condenser microphone. They just look really nice. While this is a still good looking microphone, it's just when someone sees it, they automatically kind of turn their heads away from it if they're going to buy it, because it looks like a live microphone that you use on the stage, and they don't recognize it as a professional sounding microphone in your studio, which is what it can be used for very easily, like I am right now. It sounds fantastic and there's no denying that, but it's really on personal preference here. In my opinion, the Behringer B1 looks better, but some people might like the look of the Behringer XM8500, so it's really up to you. Now let's move on to the capsule differences. This is the main difference between these two microphones, apart from the major looks difference. The Behringer B1 has a condenser capsule, while the Behringer XM8500 has a dynamic capsule. Basically, it's a completely different capsule design. The condenser capsule on the Behringer B1 is activated through 48 volt power, while the Behringer XM8500 has some sort of coil and a magnet which are always moving even when the microphone isn't plugged in. And also these dynamic capsules are a lot more durable than a condenser capsule, but at the end of the day most people wouldn't be throwing their microphones around unless it's a microphone like this, which is used in a live setting, so it could be thrown around. And what you'll notice with condenser capsules is that they always sound very true to life, while the dynamic capsules can sound a little bit different. But it is up to personal preference, and you'll be able to hear that right now as I'm about to start the sound comparison. So for this sound comparison, I'm going to be doing a close sound comparison, as you can hear right now, and then I'm going to move the microphone further away. And if you're wondering why I have a pop filter on here, that's because the Behringer XM8500 has horrible plosives, and same with the Behringer B1. They both have really bad plosives, but I can give you a demonstration really quick. So here's what the microphone sounds like without the pop filter on, and let me do some plosives. So the plosives are rubbish on this microphone. I've made that clear in many other videos, but just doing the simple trick of putting one of these pop filters on all the way until the back of this mesh here, it easily fixes the problem, and it sounds like a Shure SM7B in terms of plosives and even sound. So now here's a quick plosive test with the pop filter back on. It's a lot better, I gotta admit. The plosives are basically gone, but I've already covered that in another video. But anyway, just for this sound test, I am going to be using the pop filter on. Anyway, this is what the microphone sounds pretty close to my mouth. Let me go right up on the microphone as close as I can with the pop filter on, which is about this much off the capsule, and it sounds good. There's no denying it. The microphone has a really nice broadcasty sound, and I really like that about this microphone. Now let me move the microphone further away. Okay, now the microphone's about a ruler's length away from my mouth, and I've had to boost the audio in Adobe Premiere, but this is just to give you a demonstration of how this microphone sounds when people use their microphones far away from them, because I know there's a lot of people that use their microphone at least a ruler's length away from their mouth. So I thought I may as well give a demo because I've gotten lots of comments about that. So now let's switch over to the Behringer B1 microphone. Alright, now I've connected the Behringer B1, and let's do a test with the Behringer B1. So this is how the Behringer B1 sounds. I've got the gain level at about 11 o'clock. I've got 48 volt power turned on. While with the Behringer XM8500, I had the gain at about 90%, or about 4 o'clock. So pretty high there. And that's just because it's a dynamic microphone, and you're always going to have to boost the gain a bit more on a dynamic microphone. But this is sound with the Behringer B1 on its flat curve profile, no high pass filter turned on or anything like that, and this is what it sounds like. The microphone sounds really good, a very clear sound, and yeah, it just sounds really true to life. And that's what I love about this microphone. And also this microphone has a large diaphragm capsule in it, so that gives it an even better low noise sound, and it sounds fantastic. Anyway, let me move it further away from my mouth, about a ruler's length away. Alright, now I've got the microphone about a ruler's length away. Even though both of the microphones were the same distance away from my mouth, a ruler's length, the Behringer B1 is louder, and that's because of the condenser capsule. It's a much more sensitive capsule to noises around it, while the dynamic capsule is really great for a noisy environment because it gets rid of all the background noise. So what are my final thoughts on this comparison? Well, the Behringer B1 obviously takes the win when it comes to natural sounding voice. But when it comes to the best microphone for using in your house, I don't know. I love the XM8500 because it removes all that background noise, and I really love the sound of it. But the Behringer B1 has that really natural sounding sound, and when I've asked my friends which one they prefer, they all prefer the Behringer B1 because it sounds natural and that's what they think my voice sounds like. But they're not really techie friends, so they don't really understand much about how good this XM8500 actually sounds, because it sounds like a broadcast microphone, and that's what I really like about it. So for now, I'm kind of using the Behringer XM8500 in my setup, but I do occasionally switch it to the B1, and that's just because I have a noisy environment, and there's always siblings making noise in the background, or just random noises from the kitchen. So that's why I chose the Behringer XM8500 for my setup right now, but I mean, both microphones sound fantastic and you're not going to be disappointed with either. But for the $30 price tag of the Behringer XM8500, you cannot go wrong having this in your kit. I would always recommend, even if you have a really good set of microphones, get a Behringer XM8500 as a cheap live microphone at the minimum. Or you can use it in your studio or whatever. While the Behringer B1, for that $130 Australian price tag, it's very good. It's a very good condenser microphone, and I definitely recommend it for that price. At the end of the day, hopefully this comparison helped you out making the decision. And if you do have enough money for both of them, I would actually go for both of them, because you never know when you might want a dynamic microphone or you want to switch to a condenser. Anyway, hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, drop a like on the video. If it didn't, drop a dislike on the video. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.